listeners. You're listening to 18 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. I am Satyal.
And I'm back. I'm Silwal.
And we're a weekly podcast from the Himalayas. When it's a Tuesday and it's 7:30, you know it's time for perspectives, conversations, and stories.
I'm back again. Yay!
Silwal making more comebacks than anyone I can ever imagine. Anyways, it's good to have you back, man.
I'm itching to get back to recording the podcast.
So let's get started.
Yeah. So we have a special guest with us today, all the way from Geneva, Switzerland. She is Dipanjali Sapkota.
And let's welcome her. Woohoo! Hello, Di. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. How are you guys?
We're fine. We're doing lovely. Silwal is back and we're really happy about that. The views had gone down.
So am I.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody would listen to us if Silwal was not here. The main guy of the show is back, so you can count on people listening to us.
Satyal is trying to be too humble right
but
now.
But
I don't think this program would be the same without both of you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Don't mind.
Exactly.
Satyal Silwal dynamics, you know. So we've been meaning to do this episode with you for a long time.
For a long time.
Ever
now.
since we've known each other, right?
Yeah. Ever since we went to the Creativeness Fest.
Storytellers Creativeness Fest, that's how we got to know each other, and then
we always wanted to do this.
and finally we're here.
Yeah. So
The most important is we are here.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me, so I'm Dipanjali. I live in Switzerland for the past 19 years.
Okay.
And I work in the most wonderful organization in the world, which is called the Global Fund for HIV, AIDS, TB, and Malaria. I work in programs. This is my job, and the work has given me a lot. But what I'm really passionate about is self-awareness, knowing who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do now more of. And I teach people how to be aware of themselves, how fun it is to know yourself in a very wonderful way, and to start doing things that you really love doing not just settle. So that's what I do. And I also created the Creativeness Festival, where I met all of you amazing beings that I didn't know existed in Nepal.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So that was a way to show people the possibilities that we don't even know yet, because that's what I learned in my life a couple of years ago. So that's what I do.
Okay, so self-awareness, and as you already know, our episode's name is Aatmagyan, and that is the literal translation for self-awareness. So starting off this talk, the self-awareness, how does one start this journey? What is this all about? How does one know that the journey of self-awareness has started?
Yes, it's a bit of interesting topic, because it's something that we live every day. We live with ourselves every day, right?
Yeah.
But we are not aware of ourselves. Like, I was not aware of all these things until probably 15 years ago. So in my experience, it's like I was living my life, child, you go into college, you go into, like everybody does, you wake up, you eat, you go to the bathroom, you do your human being stuffs. And then shit hits you. Sorry for my language, but then life, difficulties come and you really don't know what to do. So when that happened to me, the first slap, the big slap I got on my face, I was like, I'm not taking this shit, because life is supposed to be beautiful.
Okay.
And I was very lucky, because I had my grandmother who I grew up with and taught about Aatmagyan, self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew where to go.
Okay.
I said, okay, I should go and talk to my grandmother. So self-awareness is really about, from my experience, waking up to your own reality and not just settling for what the world says or what your parents say or whatever whoever says, but to be curious about what's going on in my life, why am I going through all this, and just learning more about that, and not just accepting. That's what it was for me, not accepting the issues or problems or whatever one faces. Not that I have faced any big problems in my life compared to many others in the world, but that was my first glimpse into self-awareness, and my grandmother obviously taught me.
So you said the first slap that you got, is it really when shit hits the fan and that's when you realize that you have to be more self-aware, or are there easier journeys where you're starting to be self-aware without facing all the problems, or a significant problem in someone's life?
I think that's why more and more people are talking about self-awareness, things like this. If you ask me, I'm not that old, mind you. But like 20 years ago, we wouldn't be doing podcasts like this. We wouldn't be talking about self-awareness. We wouldn't be talking about Atmagyan. It didn't exist. Nobody understood. If 15 years ago, if I talked about Aatmagyan to people here or even in Nepal, they would look at me like a crazy person. So I think learning from life, I don't think you have to wait. That's why we are doing things like this. And I am so, so happy, both of you being so young, you are so aware and you're making your tribe aware, all the people who listen to you. So I don't think you have to wait for the shit to flow, but it's just being aware of, when you are going through something in life that you are not happy with, it can be very simple, like, oh my God, I'm not speaking properly with my mom, we have these kind of things. Very simple, like, oh, my best friend is not talking to me. That feels bad, right? That feels a bit awkward. It's very simple, right? Or somebody, you asked for money and they didn't give it to you, so you feel like, oh, he doesn't trust me. Simple things like that. And then you can be more curious rather than saying, oh, he just didn't give me money, or my mom doesn't speak to me, she's, whatever, I don't speak to her as well. So it could be very, very simple things like that.
Okay. So just to get started on this journey, a lot of our listeners might be very curious about the things that we are doing right now. We know you do a lot of introspection. Silwal does a lot of that. I do a lot of that myself. But for a beginner who's listening to this right now and is now starting to feel, okay, Aatmagyan bhanai yasto रहेछ, now I should start this introspection process. What are the few basic things that they can start off with?
Very, very simple things. Like they can just make a list of things they know about themselves. For example, what do I like? What do I don't like? Makes me happy. What are the things that I love doing? It's very simple. Okay. Making a list of things. So what happens is, for example, if you like singing, you might be singing, right? You might be singing here, you might be singing in the bathroom, you might be singing anywhere. But until and unless somebody says, oh, you sing really well, you wouldn't really realize, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, really? I just sing. I'm a bathroom singer. But we don't pay attention to that because it's so natural to us. So by being aware, it helps you to understand, oh, maybe that's really what I like. Now let me look into it. So they can make a list of things they love. What makes them smile, for example? Very simple. When you are in the family, what are the things that you love doing with them? Maybe it's good taking them out. Maybe it's to help them, Okay. So just being interested in yourself to say, and then to ask why. Why do I like blue color, for example? I love blue color. For example, when I was in school, I even cut my blade. I used to cut my thumb ko alikati huncha ni. Ani ragatलाई pani I used to put ink. We used to have these ink pens before. Put blue ink and make my blood blue and show everybody how much I loved blue, that my blood was also blue, Okay. I don't know, that's just my color. I love blue. Blue for me now means peace, means like just lightness in my life. So it's giving meaning to simple things in life. So just being curious about yourself, like why do I get mad, for example?
Okay.
If something goes right, by saying, wow, what am I doing right? I should maybe do more of that. And then when something goes wrong, being more introspective of asking, why did this happen? How could I do better? And being open to that. And when you start doing this, as you both know, you start coming with your own answers and not the answers from your school teachers or the TV or other people around you,
Yeah.
And that's how you start finding yourself, I think.
Ah, that's wonderful.
Sorry, guys, we just disconnected with Pooja. It was a mess, but somehow we're back again with 3G because everything that can go wrong will go wrong, right?
Nothing can stop us. We're back on 3G. So Pujadi, our next question to you is, what was the motive behind starting the Creativeness Fest? How did you envision that? What were the motives behind that?
I wanted to share the experience I experienced when I went to this event, where I felt I'd never experienced that in my life. And I said, I cannot just keep it to myself. What I learned, what I experienced, I have to share it with other people. And I didn't know how to, because I had no clue how it was going to happen, what I was going to do. And I always knew I wanted to work with Nepal. That was a new idea I had in my mind, with young people mostly. And then it was the time when the earthquake went, and I said, oh my God, when I saw the energy of all of you out there, I said, how can I help? Because I had collected money from Switzerland, we had sent that money, but how other ways could I help? So I think it was this burning desire to help people, to make them understand that knowing who they really are is so important, and by doing that they can do so much more in life. I think it was this desire that really fueled into one step onto another. And when I saw this youth movement in Nepal during the earthquake time, oh my God, that's the time I said, that's it, I'm gonna go back and do whatever I have to do, but work with the kids. And then Creativeness Festival was just a name you met Whitney when I shared with her my desire to help the youths, because that's what I'm passionate about Aatmagyan, about self-awareness, about really helping people to know who they really are. Not even helping, reminding them who they really are. We all know who we are.
Yeah.
Then we forget. So I think it was this burning desire. And then Creativeness Festival was just
that was
it was a flow. I don't know how it all happened. I could have never ever imagined.
We're just glad that it happened.
To another.
We're just glad that it happened, because
people listening, you had to be there to witness the energy that was out there.
It was just incredible. We met 130 other amazing souls. We connected within ourselves as well, and even if you missed out, I'm sure it's gonna happen next year too, right?
Or soon.
Yes, we are looking for dates, and it has to continue, because it's absolutely needed, and more people should know about this.
Fantastic. Okay, so regardless of whether people get to be at the Creativeness Fest or not, what are some benefits that you personally have experienced because of Aatmagyan that you would encourage other people to do it as well?
I don't know where to start, because it's only been joy. So since I knew this journey, since I started my journey 15 years ago, the direct impact of really spending time to know who I am, why am I here on earth, like basically not just to, live and die, but fundamental questions like, why am I here? Why do I have to go through all this suffering? Like people screaming at you, or, for example, in love, going through all the pain of breakups. I'm someone who's been divorced and separated, so I had to find meaning to life when I was going through all of this. And I think if it wasn't for Aatmagyan, knowing who I really am, these things would have been very difficult. So what it does is it gives you a tool to live life and navigate the earthquakes of life in your own personal life in a very smooth way. Your problems will not go away, your challenges will not go away, but you will learn how to ride it. And it's going to be a smooth surfing, smooth bike ride, rather than falling and getting up and getting bruised all the time. You learn to navigate. So it really helps, gives you that resilience factor, gives you better relationships. You make relationships that's soul related, like we are doing now, right? You guys are young, there's no age difference. We connect to people in a very different way, and you make meaningful relationships. Your life becomes much more brighter, because everybody's seeing that happiness that shines from inside, because you have that within everybody. When you know about that, you just light up more. You live in joy, constant joy. Nothing really can take over you. You are so powerful. You become so powerful that nobody can really say anything to you because you know who you really are, and you can just stand strong like a tree, like olive trees that just are there, rooted on the ground. So many benefits. What else?
So
You just become more happier and more peaceful.
I think that's the main idea behind that, happiness and peace. What more do you want?
I think what you talked about was, you either win or you learn.
Yeah, love how you put it. And no matter what the external circumstance, you can just change
in
your
this
outlook towards
journey,
it.
there is no failing.
Yeah.
There is no failing. You just gain insight to yourselves, and that insight is going to give you opportunities like Creativeness Festival. This was never in my mind. I never thought I could do anything like that. So it gives you possibility. It just, it just brings you to life that you had never imagined before. And it's only by being interested in yourself. So the investment you are making is in yourself, and then the outcome is for everybody around the world, the people who are around you,
Yeah, we love how you put that.
Yeah, everyone listening right now, imagine, knowing yourself a whole lot better. How amazing and wonderful would that be? To know what makes you happy and what makes you...
and only you know that,
Yeah,
right?
and only you know that.
And the best thing is everything is inside you, yet we look for everything beyond, but everything is just within you. We just wanted you to listen to this podcast, and we hope that after this, you start introspecting a lot and you start finding peace and happiness within you, because everything lies within.
And
if you guys are okay, can I just take 2 minutes of you?
Yeah.
And let's just tell your audience right now, and you do this with me, 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
Just breathe. Just feel that. There's a lot of energy going. Even as I speak with you guys, I can feel your excitement and love and energy and everything. Just feel that. And just breathe in. Just your heartbeat. The silence. Just this moment. Nothingness moment. This peace is within you, and that's what you are feeling. And that can be accessed any time of the day. It's just by breathing and feeling. Okay? And that's the peace of your heart, peace of your mind. That's all you need to do. So you can go back to the podcast and listen again. Then you'll have peace. Peace on demand. Anytime.
Thank you. That was lovely. All right,
it was really amazing to have you on this podcast. We've always wanted to have you.
Finally,
we had you on this podcast.
Yay! We love you. I love you guys.
Love you too. Thank you so much for coming over.
Love to all your people. They are learning so much through you guys. So thank you for doing this every week, I think, or every month.
Every
week,
Tuesday.
Every Tuesdays.
Every Tuesdays. Oh my God, this is great. So please continue, huh?
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So that was Dipanjali on Aatmagyan and knowing yourself. If you felt lost, now is the time to really know yourself.
Animesh, Silwal and I will be back again next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And one last thing.
It's never too late to know yourself.